So welcome back, and we'll continue our session. This is session 2. Subject is facilitation skills. So I think I can see some of your faces. Common faces, but some of them are new. Welcome to all.
Thank you, sir, and good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Back again. Wow. 1 second. Okay, you're able to see the screen and hear me? Hear the music?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Okay. So as usual, I love icebreakers. So this is the second session. We go on back into the icebreaker. Every session of mine will have some sort of an icebreaker. So this is something different and something unique, something new. So this is about sharing of your experiences and emotions. You can take almost about say about half a minute to decide, and then actually go across the instructions. I'll just share the flow. I would like you all to relate your name with a favorite color or an object, maybe stationary, maybe moving. It could be a mobile phone, it could be a water bottle, it could be a ball pen, it could be a wall, it could be a calendar, it could be anything which is moving or non moving, associated with an emotion or experience which resonates you, and you're permitted to be as spontaneous and think out of the box. Okay, just to make the idea deeper, this is basically I want you all to fill your life with various colors around it, because our life is like a canvas. So giving you a lot of ideas to pick up your topic from. Maybe books, maybe kettles, maybe bottles, phones, candle stand, chair, door, teddy bears, the television set, television screen, toilet rolls, cutlery, photo frames, etc., etc. So with this, yes, I will just take you behind again so that you're able to go on the instructions again. Relating with your emotions and experience, I want you all to resonate or relate your name with any favorite color or object, stationary or moving, which resonates you. You are permitted to be spontaneous and think out of the box.
Chocolate, associated with chocolate,
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, Mystery.
out of the
That's
box.
nice. Okay, so I'll stop sharing the screen and we could go ahead. Jigar, I missed you in the last session. Huh?
I was traveling. There
Yeah,
was
that's
a death
okay.
in
That's
the
okay. I'll
family, so I had
just,
to go.
that's okay. That's no worries. No worries. Okay. Yes, Mugdha is back. Amita is back. Sanjay is back. Oh, wow. That's great. Devashish is there. Wonderful. Yes, so Jigar, you wanted to associate it with a chocolate? Resonate it with
Chocolate,
an
chocolate.
experience or an emotion, please.
Experience means whenever I feel low, I try to eat chocolates, and that makes me into a happy mood.
Oh, wow. That's nice. That's nice. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful, Jigar. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much. Siddharth, would you like to go ahead?
I associate with the color blue.
Oh, wow.
So there is a lot of confidence that I carry when I wear something which is of blue color, and that resonates when I speak with people and also communicate with with my team in
Okay.
various ways.
Okay, wonderful. You're wearing a red t-shirt. Absolutely. No worries, no worries, no worries. That's nice. That's nice. Yes, Garima, would you like to go ahead? Bipin, Suman, would you like to go ahead? Kathy, back again.
I would relate myself with water.
Water.
So I'm very adaptive, flexible, and I just go with the flow and dilute well in the any kind of environment and people.
Okay, you adjust to any sort of an environment. Oh, that's great. That's something very nice. Yes, wonderful. Bipin, Suman.
बड़े लोग बड़ी बातें.
Oh, yes.
So this is Amit.
Vijay Raghavan, the legend. Go ahead. Okay, Amit, go ahead.
So in my case, as Siddharth mentioned, I earlier used to closely relate with color blue, but lately what I've realized is I'm associating myself with red color for some reason.
Oh, wow.
And the moment you ask this question, I'm looking around in my house. Most of the things that I've purchased in the last 3 to 4 months, everything is almost having some shade of red color. So I guess I've changed from blue to red, I guess.
What
The
is it for?
preference.
What is it for? Why does the color red fascinate you? Is there some strong emotion or experience related with that?
It is emotion. It is also something that's very vibrant
Vibrant.
by
Okay.
the color, the way the color constitutes itself. It's
Okay.
very vibrant. So wherever you see, I mean, at least lately, every time I see it, I feel highly energetic. It feels good.
Wow. That's nice. That's nice, Amit. Wonderful. Wonderful. Swarnim, would you like to go ahead? Ruby, would you like to go ahead? Vijay Raghavan?
Yeah, my favorite
Swarnim.
color is orange.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Why everyone is sticking to colors? No one's got any object like I want to
if we
go
go by object, then the
or maybe
telephone.
a calendar or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Then I will go for telephone.
Okay.
So it's symbolize two things. The first telephone which we bought, that is from my first salary, and
Okay.
second, telephone is the thing which connects people. So I like to get connected and be connected with people.
Oh wow, it's very strong. Two emotions together. First salary and connecting with people. Wonderful, wonderful, Swarnim. Wonderful,
Thank you.
absolutely wonderful. Devashish, would you like to go in next? Vijay Raghavan next? I mean, go ahead, go ahead. Mugdha, Ruby. Come on, let's have a few opinions. Suman, Nandan, Neeraj, Madhu, Sadaf.
I see books, sir.
Yes, Vijay Raghavan. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I resonate with books, sir. Books.
Acha, you like books. Okay.
Because
What
book is
sort
the
of
best.
books? Why?
Knowledgeable books, scientific books,
Oh wow, very nice.
and selling books, sales
Okay.
related.
Wow.
Books are best companion to me.
Okay.
So I can get more knowledge.
Okay.
That's
Very
all,
nice.
sir.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
ISTD books, I think.
Amazing.
I like
Certainly
sweets.
not.
So my object is sweets. So
Okay,
whenever I
Ruby, you
feel
also like
happy
sweets.
or whenever I'm in good mood or sad mood, whatever mood, I buy sweets. So I can buy any round the clock. So if I am like hungry also anything, like I prefer going for sweets. Even
I mean, I
12
think
o'clock.
you should invite us, Ruby, because we also all love sweets, So whenever you're around, possibly we could all share a couple of sweets. That's great.
Sure,
Very
sure,
nice.
sir.
Katie, come in. Katie, come in.
The best utility as of today, I would like to associate myself to the computer. We all require it. It's filled with knowledge. It helps us to communicate. I think it's multi-usable. So I would relate it to like being a mother, doing so many things at home. We have
वाह कहती
सब कुछ तो कर ही लेते हैं हम लोग घर में. कंप्यूटर से भी सब कुछ हो जाता है.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Wonderful. Sanjana, would you like to go ahead? Sanjana, Bijay, Timothy, Chalapati.
I just joined in, so I'm unable to get the context of what is happening.
Okay. Okay, we were trying to identify some sort of an object or some sort of a color which would resonate with you, maybe an emotion, maybe an experience. That's basically the flow. Okay, possibly you could wait for someone else to go ahead. Pooja?
Good afternoon, Doctor. Dr. Suhas, this is Shivli here. I
Okay.
think I associated myself with loyalty
Oh, wow.
because if one person, if I can trust that person or that person does win my trust, then I believe that I'm lifelong loyal to that person, sometimes to a fault. So yes, that loyalty is an emotion which I
wow.
believe, and I think that is one of the best emotions in any, like, it can be a challenge when you're working in an organization because sometimes we get too loyal to the company also, which also becomes a challenge. But
Wonderful.
yes, loyalty is one emotion that I believe in.
Wonderful, wonderful. Values are more valuable than valuables, as they say. Rightly said. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Madhu, go ahead. After that, we can have Chalapati coming in.
Sir, I like birds because they want to high fly and create own space in the world.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well done. Well done. Okay. Thank you so much. Chalapati, go ahead, please.
Yeah, yes. As I've shared earlier also, so I relate myself very much with color blue. Right?
Wow.
Because, yeah, blue has got many things, I think, tranquility, calmness, trust, reliability, loyalty, sincerity. So everything is, I think, associated with blue. And authority and power is also associated with blue. So I relate myself with color blue.
So I have a strong supporter because I am also wearing a blue shirt.
Yeah, for that reason only I have said. No,
That's
it was
nice.
on a lighter note. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So this
Wonderful,
is
Chalabani.
Suman here.
Yes, please
I
go ahead.
think I'd associate my personality with the wave, as calm and composed that it might look from the outer. Inside, it's filled with strength and these strong currents, which normally only come to display on those high tidal days. So yeah, like I might look calm, but I have a lot of strength, and it comes out only on those days when I need it to be.
Wow, wow, that's nice. That's nice. That's something very, very powerful. It's a very powerful statement. Wonderful. Sanjay, go ahead, please.
Yes, I would like to relate myself with space, empty space, because it's everywhere and I can empathize with anybody, be it poor, be it rich, be it animal, be it human. So space is everywhere. Somewhere it's filled, somewhere it's empty.
Okay,
So that's how
okay. So there would be no void, huh? Wow, wow, wow. Any last anyone who's coming in last so that we can go ahead? Bridges, Timothy, Sandeep, Alankar, Ganesh, Nandan.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
I would like to relate
Go ahead,
myself
go ahead.
with, yeah, I would like to relate myself with nature. Actually, I am from, I belong to God's own country, Kerala.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's a beautiful place, and I always enjoy, but I'm working in Bangalore. So whenever I get that opportunity to go and enjoy the nature, it gives me a lot of peace and calm.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, Bridges. So Sanjay, you raised your hand again or you're not lowered your hand?
Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
That's okay. That's okay. No worries. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the screen sharing. Yes, this is. Yes. Okay, please remember that each of you is amazing. As a facilitator, as a trainer, we need to remember this at all times that you'll need to pat your own shoulder always, irrespective of any stakeholders whatsoever. Okay, because there's no clone, there is no duplication, or there is no second person as unique and as special as you. So each of us are made in a different mold, and we can add a lot of value into the business of transformation of people, either being a facilitator or being a trainer, maybe a teacher, maybe a coach, educator, mentor, whatsoever, leader, manager. Okay. So always remember at the back of your mind, always let it hit very nice and very powerful that you are amazing, you are unique, you are special, you are exclusive. Okay. Take a round of applause and 500 marks for people who have participated, observed, and been on the screen for the last 15-20 minutes. Thank you so much. Okay. So now we go on to a very interesting perspective, the magic of perspective. As a facilitator, as a trainer, we need to always have a feature which is seeing through the other person's eyes, because you are one, or at the most you would be 1+1, in the sense you may have a co-facilitator or a co-trainer or something like that, but participants would be anywhere in between 15, 20, 25, 40, 100, depending on whatsoever, or maybe even more than 100 for teachers. So the magic of the perspective is, how do you see through the other's eyes? How do you keep your eyes open and look at it from different perspectives of different students or different participants or different team members whatsoever? So let us see how it works. Okay, so now when you think about this, what is it? This diagram, the diagram in the white, the outline, I deliberately put a clip art picture of a rabbit. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to analyze whether it's a rabbit. It gives you an indication. It definitely gives you an indication. You may think of it as a rabbit, but I may think of it as a duck. The moment I turn it, it is a duck. So we as facilitators, we as trainers, we need to look from a different perspective of whether it's a rabbit or a duck, and handle queries, handle situations, offer solutions, moderate, debrief, come to a specific outcome in the best interest of every specific participant. Facilitation talks about enabling each and every one of the audience, each and every one of the participants to succeed. So that's basically how we're going to do it. Now, when you talk about adult learning principles, which are required for us, certain things. These are all things which you have been doing and on and off. You all are self-directing. You all require ownership. I mean, we all require ownership. We thrive with setting up of goals. We process with our senses. We learn by doing. We appreciate repetition. We desire relevance. We guide our own development. We are happy to utilize experiences, and we learn very differently than children. Okay. So that's basically keeping it in mind. Facilitation and training is all about considering adult learning principles, which are required for all of us, whatsoever it is, whether it is virtual, real time, hybrid, in person, physical, whatever sort of trainings you're doing, whether it is for behavioral training, soft skills, technical, hard skills, so multiple areas, whichever you're doing, even simple teaching to that matter, or maybe coaching, or maybe even mentoring for that matter, even one-to-one for that matter, will be considering these lovely adult learning principles. What is the best learning style which adults use, friends? What is the best?
Learning by doing and learning by observing.
Psychomotor.
Learning by doing and learning by
Demonstration.
learning by
That's
doing.
good.
Psychomotor skills.
Okay. So what is that learning style known as?
Kinesthetic.
VAK. Wow, that's great. That's great. Wonderful, wonderful. Your visual, your auditory, and your kinesthetic, that your experience, all those three things combined together give a unique experience. So all your presentations, all your trainings should have some element of maybe a video, maybe audio, maybe some music, maybe a mix of colors, and of course a proper content synchronization into the system. That's basically what you're going to do. That actually attracts, that pulls, that's magnetic, and the explanation should be nice and simple, few words, and hitting the bullseye, hitting the target. That's what is exactly required. So the way ahead is basically, let's go on to see the framework of facilitation. Facilitation in itself is a huge area which talks about my success as a facilitator, or my success or your success as a facilitator, or my success or your success as a trainer. To consider the basic framework, a lot of preparation is required to define what are the objectives, who are the participants, who's your focus group, the demographics concerned, and the outcomes, relatable outcomes through the training session or the facilitation session, having a specific crisp agenda. The opening on the framework would be to start the session by introducing themselves. I mean, we didn't do that part because it would have taken a long time. I mean, just even your names itself makes a lot of difference. We set the tone of the session, and we are able to clarify the objectives and the agenda. Third is the step of exploration. The facilitator, unlike the trainer, leads the group through a process of exploration, ideas, cues, suggestions, themes, but no answers, no pathways, no solutions, which will help the group, which will help the people who are being facilitated, or the participants who are being facilitated, to gather information, to generate ideas, to build up an understanding of any issue or problem at hand. They will do, they will present, we will moderate, we will debrief, we will bring solutions, we will bring out the alternatives through the viewpoints or the perspectives of the participants. Decision making. This will help the group to make decisions by using different techniques. We could use brainstorming, we could use consensus building, we could use voting. It could be using of software, it could be using of even physical aids. It could be different aids which are used to help you to make a decision, or to come to a conclusion, or to even come to a consensus for that matter. Implementation. The facilitator helps developing an action plan. Action plan is basically what I'm going to do next. Create a strategy, make a difference, and take steps to implement the decisions made during the session, or during the when you're going through the module. The closing is always nice summarization, demoderation, debriefing, bringing out the valid points, aligning the objectives with the outcomes, clarifying what next, and of course gathering feedback for further improvement. Facilitation is, this definition is beautiful by the IAF, is nothing but, facilitation is nothing but the art of unlocking the power of a group through dialogue, pursuit of clarity, engaging of active participation, and embracing the richness of diverse perspectives. Every participant, however silent, however suggestive, however provoked he or she may be, gives a different perspective, gives a diverse perspective, which will give a wonderful canvas for us to deliberate further, to crystallize to wonderful outcomes which are useful, which are meaningful for the organization or for the corporate or for the purpose for which the facilitation exercise is being enabled. The multifaceted potential of a team or a group or the participants is released through that. The facilitators, I mean, there are certain do's and don'ts which you'll try to see before you go on to the actuals. The facilitator behavior which is appropriate. Make sure that your role is clear. You're not the boss, you're not the leader, you are a friend, you are connected to them, you are a philosopher, you are a guide, you are a mentor, you are an advisor, you're going to guide, you're going to support, but you're not going to have any unnecessary ego or any sort of an association of a priority or status or something like that. Make sure that you are approachable and you are friendly and you're relatable to each and every participant. That's the first golden rule for a facilitator. I and you need to be absolutely neutral, unbiased, should not have any negative perceptions about anyone. We should be very, very impartial to whatsoever extent it is. Even if we have the most difficult of the participants, we should have a proper format of behavior. So see that your role is clear. You are going to be into the suggestive mood. You're going to be into the collaboration game. You're going to be into the empowering and enabling mode. All those things are great, but you will not give answers. You will not give pathways. You will not give suggestions. You will just give some keywords here and there and make each of them enable to do the game. The rules of the game would be making them participate and getting in their buy-in to support and adhere to those rules. Articulate the purpose and the relevance of each activity. The theme, the title, the concept, the activity, the requirement of the participation is very important. Absolutely crystal clear instructions, because you're not going to do a demonstration. You're not going to do any sort of a presentation. It'll be very simple and clear instructions for them to build upon. It's something like a Meccano set. They will be developing it on their own. You will be narrowing it down once they finish their presentations, either on a flip chart or on a canvas or maybe on a software whatsoever, to deliberate further, to bring out relevant triggers and bring out the purpose of that specific theme in their best interest. Their best interest is my best interest. Their growth and their success is my success. So that's the way how a facilitator needs to be. Be absolutely confident about the role and stay in charge of the process. No misguiding, no commenting, no belittling someone. Absolutely nice, smiling, sober, encouraging mode. That's the way you're going to be throughout the show, because you're like a philosopher, you're like a support, you're like someone to rely upon, and you're someone to be asked, but then you will not give any clear answers. Be responsible for the process of the discussion, not the content. Encouragement is premium, enablement is imperative, but no sharing of the content or the work or the framework besides that. Stay objective, summarize, paraphrase, repeat, rephrase the status and the discussion to create a common level of understanding. Go down to that level, even if it comes to talking in very simple terms, because you are approachable. You are approachable to every single participant. Every single participant needs to connect with you. More asking than telling. Empower them to ask rather than telling. You ask, let them answer. Even if they are asking, you need to be very careful on, you're not going to share much details. Keep the track and everything is timed. Involve all persons. Every person needs to be involved. All participants need to be involved in this exercise. Pay attention to individuals and group behaviors. There might be instances where you have certain people being noisy, disruptive, or unfocused. You need to bring them back to focus and remain very positive and smiling all the time. Don't soften facilitator. Like, we know what is to be done for a facilitator. I'm sure that many of us are already practicing. Don't soften facilitator. facilitator behavior which is inappropriate, dominating the group. You may be a boss, you may be a CEO, you may be a leader, you may be a coach, you might be one of the highest paid training consultants in the country or abroad, but you will not dominate the group. You will be very approachable, very friendly, and you will relate it only in specific terms of encouragement and enablement. You will not see that you are able to push your personal agendas and opinions as the right answer. No canvassing, no lobbying, no soliciting, no selling of other programs during the specific facilitation. Facilitation is a highly empowered lab sort of an environment where you will not keep any personal agendas or opinions whatsoever. You will not downplay people's ideas, however good, however brilliant, however silly, however stupid. Every answer, every response has a meaning, has a purpose, has something to relate to. You will not allow inappropriate behavior. Any inappropriate behavior needs to be tackled, not by discipline, not by firmness, but by a friendly.
हाई कर रही हूँ ना उसकी क्लासेस है
नहीं आप पढ़ो आपको
वो तो वो पढ़ रही
Sanjana, can you mute yourself, please?
हिंदी आता थी सही में
Thank you. Okay, it will not be something like reading from a manuscript. Let it be open, let it be nice. Behavior should be not static, it should be engaging, total involvement, it should be dynamic. Do not be cynical. Ask something which is nice, something which is relatable, something which is concerned, something which is appropriate. Role of a facilitator. I mean, in fact, you are a great person. A facilitator is much more than a trainer. You are actually a catalyst for discussion. A catalyst is basically you are enabling the transformation of inputs. You're giving a theme, you're giving a tagline, you're giving an idea, you're giving a concept that could be transformed into ideas, opinions to get a refinement, maybe to get a decision, maybe to get a better strategy without being part of that conversation itself. Either yourself or herself or himself or whatever. You are actually a conductor. When you talk about a conductor, it's basically an orchestra conductor who is conducting the complete ropes of the music or the way how things are going on. You're going to guide. You're going to create a very organic and a transparent system to enable every person to follow the agreed upon rules. In this way, you'll be enabling each person to create something greater than themselves. You're actually contributing. The complete collective effort is the way how you go across and how you manage those people together. So, this is basically synchronizing of all musicians so that you get optimum use of their use of instruments to get a harmonic musical expression with complex interactions, creativity, and expertise. So that's basically one of the excellent conductors of orchestra anyone can name. The name starts with Z.
Zubin Mehta.
Zubin Mehta. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Okay. So that's basically it is a coach. You are a coach. The normally facilitators come from an external background. Most of the facilitators come from an external background. External background in the sense they have rubbed shoulders with multiple bosses and leaders all across all across domains, and they come more as a coach. They have got expertise maybe in the call center business, in the manufacturing business, in the service business, in finance, multiple areas. So they share their experience, they share their flavor, and you can help the group to constructively work together, identify the need and wishes, and reach the outcome that they would jointly like to achieve. Now, this is something beautiful. When you talk about a role of a facilitator, sometimes I'm seen as the showmaster, coach, leader, clown, trainer, beekeeper, a reporter, expert, interviewer, theater director, social weaver, teacher, sparring partner, observer, animator, coordinator, organizer, networker, caterer, moderator, tamer, referee, gardener, and gatekeeper, and sometimes even also as the chief cook or bottle washer, because the people are interested in giving comments on what they ate and the hygiene part of it. So all in one, you have a multiple role to play to keep everyone happy and everyone connected. Okay. Individual facilitation. You've got two types of facilitation actually. One is the personal individual. It's more like a coaching business. So one who facilitates person-centered planning process, collaborates to facilitate and help the individual concerned with whom you're dealing with their personal career goals to make them learn something new. Maybe the person is going into a new role, a new organization, a new setup, a new responsibility, maintaining the current knowledge and adding on maybe different knowledge, maybe developing of a new behavior. It could always help in having a new mind. I mean, mindsets need to be on a growth pattern and not on a very fixed pattern. You need to go ahead by exploring and being creative and going to the next level. So advising, guiding, supporting, and responding to the needs of the individuals so that they are able to deliver. Group facilitation. Here it's basically guiding the members of a select group to communicate effectively to overcome a challenge. Now, when you talk about this, facilitation becomes a challenge when the demographics of the group is different. Job role wise, age wise, experience wise, exposure wise, background wise. So putting that group together, maybe for a project, maybe for a gig assignment, and asking them to come together, communicate, work together, be productive, and perform to the best or the optimum possible by overcoming the challenge becomes a challenge in itself. You could use these groups as a leader to address complex challenges, improve productivity, and encourage friendliness and familiarity amongst employees. This is one of the best things which is happening literally all across the world these days. Irrespective of the age, irrespective of the experience, you could have multiple people coming in. I know of a group facilitation exercise with the Larsen and Toubro, where a youngster from who passed out from ISB, a gold medalist, was the project leader or the project CEO for 6 months, and his team, I mean his group, in fact, comprised of very senior professionals and mid-age. It was a multi-generational group, but they vibed on very well. They ironed out their differences. They made the project a success. They went abroad for a foreign trip for enjoyment, and everything achieved. So it all happens on how you're able to encourage that friendliness, and that is basically the role of a facilitator. The facilitator was part of that group. He was there continuously enabling the process to make them familiar whatsoever. It's very difficult for a multi-generational group to click for a project which has got a timeline. So managers with excellent facilitation skills could create groups, reduce conflict, and encourage working together successfully because objectives, goals are well defined. You need to continuously practice these things, equality and equity, because all facilitators all across the world follow the acronym of DEIB. What is DEIB, friends?
Diversity, inclusion, equity.
And
Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belongingness.
wow, that's great. That's great. That's wonderful. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Wonderful. When you have people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and different exposure, different education levels, different state of society, that's great. Equity is basically different levels of creativity, intelligence, coming up to the same level to perform together as a group or a team. Inclusion is being proud to be part of that project, part of that gig, part of that assignment, part of the team, and belonging to a specific culture, a momentum, a system, a process, an assignment, whatsoever. So all these three things together, all these four things together create the DIB. A facilitator needs to continuously juggle and see that everyone is working together for a common cause. Because if she avoids doing that, he or she will not be paid what he is supposed to practice. So you need to be very careful and practice a lot of DIB into the system. Now, this is certain explanations which your syllabus demands. Mentoring and coaching. Mentoring could be strategic, helicoptering, confidential, mentee chosen, outside the line. Mentor has no personal agenda. Mentor does not link to own success. Mentee drives it, whereas coaching would be more focused on skills, hands-on, open, coach often allocated within the lines. Coach may have a personal agenda. Coach may link his own success to that of the mentee. It normally happens. Coach may drive it, but mentee must want to learn. Okay, so these are certain differences. Many a times you'll find most of the roles mixing and matching in each other. They merge into each other. Okay, so I captured this beautiful term so that you're able to viewing from above, across, and below. Now, this is
Sir, could
what
you? Yeah.
helicoptering is all about, Siddharth.
Yeah, that's my question.
Oh, yes. Yes. So that's what, helicoptering is basically you are getting an view from all sides, from the front and from the side, and maybe you could look slightly at the bottom and you'll be able to get a complete view. So as a facilitator, the helicoptering view is very important. Of course, nowadays even trainers use some level of helicoptering, but for coaches, mentors, facilitators, you don't have a choice. You'll have to give a broad 360 degrees vision and an acceptance to all the participants. Only in that case can you actually survive. Now, this is a beautiful
Facilitation is about making it easier for groups of people to understand each other's point of view. So sit back for a few moments and put aside responding to those urgent emails as we share some of the good stuff with you and highlight the poor practices you ought to be on the lookout for. And may your business meetings be forever improved. The best facilitators carefully assess the needs of those in the meeting. They treat participants equally and work hard to stay neutral in all discussions. A good facilitator knows how to use a wide range of process tools, but they'll have to be a story for another day, as there are just too many to review in this short video. Getting back to best practices. A good facilitator creates an open and trusting atmosphere and helps participants understand why they're there. They listen intently in order to fully understand what's being said, and when speaking themselves, use simple, direct language. Good facilitators work to make participants the center of attention and take notes that accurately reflect what participants mean. Contrast this with some traits of bad facilitators. These are the things to watch out for and avoid in your own business meetings whenever possible. Poor facilitators want to be the center of attention. They don't really bother checking in with the participants and seeing whether they have any concerns. They often fail to listen and end up losing track of key ideas. They also tend to be overly passive on process and let things amble on. Ever been in a meeting like that? Why, you end up asking yourself, just what is going on here? Why are we doing all this? You raise your concern and the facilitator puts you down? Yep, right there is another trait of bad facilitators. They put people down and get defensive, often about some relatively minor process issue. Meetings run by these facilitators often end up being dominated by the team leader or some other strong voice. Poor facilitators take poor notes. Poor notes lead to poor decisions, often based on what wasn't said. In fact, poor facilitators can be so preoccupied with making their poor notes that they fail to check how the meeting is going and seem to be totally oblivious as to when to take a break. The very worst facilitators tend to push ahead with an irrelevant agenda, having no alternative approaches to offer, and criminally let discussions ramble on and on and on and on without proper closure, which is, of course, a complete waste of everybody's time, so don't go there. Good facilitators are willing to champion ideas they don't personally favor and find ways of concluding meetings on an optimistic note. In their concluding remarks, good facilitators make sure their meetings end with clear steps for the next meeting, ensuring that everybody is up to speed and understands what they have to do. So there you have it, a quick resume of the best and worst facilitator practices. Active Presence offers comprehensive facilitation skills training that will help you communicate better in a team environment and finish those complex projects on time within budget. Have a look at the resource library on our website and
Okay, so I think the video is beautiful, very nice and crisp about showing us what is good and what is bad. I'll be sharing this with you all after I finish this session. I mean, both the sessions, the morning session and the post-lunch session, both I'll combine and send it to you all via Delhi office. Let's go on to certain other concepts like mentors and tutors. Again, this is for, this will be more relevant and more useful for expression, maybe for your answers, for your response sheet, and for your examinations. Otherwise, I mean, these are all normal terms which you are familiar with. Mentors are more focused on interpersonal skills, more for the development of professional and psychosocial features. It's actually a partnership. It's typically a senior and a junior who could be paired together to make this partnership. But of course, now, friends, we have a concept which is known as reverse mentors, where senior people are often paired with younger mentors who could teach them different skills. So, I mean, it goes in that reverse pattern. That's why they're known as reverse mentors. Intent is to develop the junior partner or the partner. I would like to correct this, the partner, as a person who's actually wanting to become a professional or pick up some skills or gather some knowledge or become more proficient in something or learn something new, maybe. Whereas when you talk about tutors is something very focused. It's more on the focusing of knowledge, technical skill development, maybe not necessarily focusing on the psychosocial development. It's more unilateral, with one person imparting knowledge to the other. It could be, when you talk about tutors, the participant size would be normally restricted anywhere in between 2 to 6. Like how the IIT entrance exams and all are focused. We will not call a proper coaching class as a tutorial. Tutorials are more focused and the participant size is slightly restricted. Single digit numbers. Maybe a more senior person or a peer that acts as a tutor, normally someone with experience, someone who can teach, someone who can impart, someone who can develop, and who has the intent to improve a specific area or knowledge of skill deficit. So you're able to find out that gap and plug that gap and bring in a development, bring in an improvement in that person. Common facilitation techniques used. Now, these are certain common techniques to be used, which are very common and which many of you all know. Lectures is somewhat monologue. I mean, it's like a monologue, actually, where you're talking and someone is listening. It could be a huge audience or it could be a smaller audience. You could tend to say something and people would love to listen, learn, take notes, maybe record on whatever content is delivered. Modified lecture. This is an element of the lecture which has got some element of modification. You have small in-class activities where you could ask the students to do something relating to a scenario, maybe show them a video clip, or maybe ask them to read or write or talk or reflect or something like that. So that becomes a modified lecture where some amount of engagement is possible, even if the participant size is huge. We have a forum. I mean, these forums are absolutely necessary. The importance of the forums happened thanks to the COVID, where we have discussion forums and open forums and company forums and all working overnight, overtime. Everyone suddenly became very active. I mean, people started creating WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups and personal portal related groups through the corporate and all, where a lot of learning happened, a lot of teaching happened, a lot of sharing of content happened, a lot of discussions happened, a lot of ideation happened, and a lot of question and answers and triggering a deeper thinking. Many a times, most of it was free because you could connect with the masses globally and you could attend to a problem without paying for getting the solution to that problem. Different alternatives, different solutions from the global experts at the end of the course. This could be at the end of some sort of a activity or a course or a module, or maybe when you're debriefing, it would help you to come to a conclusion. Now, this is actually the second session agenda. This was partially from the earlier session, which we have continued, and this is the actual session agenda, where we have certain techniques which should be used, common training methods, the identification of training needs, the goals, learning objectives, new knowledge, new skills, new attributes. How do you plan the content, the audience, the characteristics, the method of contextualization, and presentation style. We have already done this. This is basically a recap. Knowing yourself, knowing your material, knowing your purpose, knowing your audience. This is very important because you'll need to have it at all times, whatsoever you are, whether you're a teacher, educator, facilitator, trainer, coach, mentor, whatsoever. Knowing yourself, knowing the material, knowing the purpose, knowing your audience. It is not in any specific order, but the first thing is you need to know about yourself, then the purpose, then the material, then the audience, so that it helps. Desirable competencies of facilitation. Understand and manage a learner problem. Why is facilitation required? Facilitation is required because there is a problem, either related to the task or to the activities or to the performance or to the problems or to a conflict or to some sort of a situation or something which has happened, something which is affecting the work. So to understand and manage the learner problem is very important. This in the training language, we would call it as analyzing and finding the gap. Something which we call as training need identification and analysis. Something similar on the terms. You could have an observation, you could share a questionnaire, you could have certain video grabs, CCTV grabs, so that you understand why people are behaving like that, why people are not responding the way they are supposed to, why they are not being that productive, or why their performance has been affected. Positive relationship with the learners. A facilitator needs to be not exactly a friend, but a philosopher and have a wonderful relationship, a wonderful bonhomie with each and every learner, irrespective of the role, age, background, nature, whatsoever, temperament. You got no choice. As a facilitator, you will keep cool, you'll be sober, and you'll have it the way it is required. You will accelerate continuously for developing them with their people skills and professional development. Once you are a good person, automatically professional development would happen. So actually, a facilitator is a coach, is a mentor, is a trainer, is an educator, is a philosopher. All rolled into one. You will actually help. You are actually the sculptor. You will be molding the participants to become better individuals at all times, because most of the areas are broad for the areas of facilitation. Effectively communicate. The purpose of communication should be nice, simple, crisp, minimum. Have a professional appearance and poise. Don't overdress, but don't underdress also. You need to have a professional appearance and it needs to match with the tempo. Now you'll wonder what this professional appearance is all about. Friends, you must have heard about the wonderful acronym ABC, the ABC formula for all trainers and facilitators. Anyone can tell what is this ABC formula? A for apple, B for Bravo, C for Charlie.
Appearance, behavior, and communication.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wonderful. Appearance, behavior, and communication. Absolutely. Wonderful. Maza aa gaya. So you should have that professional appearance. Sometimes you need to do it the way people do it. Like, for example, I was doing a session for a call center there. They told me, Suhas, no Nehru jackets, no blazers, t-shirt. I said, I don't have a t-shirt. Can you give me a t-shirt? So they sent me a beautiful t-shirt and I wore that t-shirt and did the training. तो जैसा रिक्वायरमेंट है वैसे कस्टमाइज करना है हमको. There is no worries, but be neat, be presentable, be approachable, be smiling, be energetic, and be delighted, super delighted, be very passionate. Okay, because I believe in the PIO formula. PIO formula for facilitators and training is all about P for parrot, I for India, O for orange. Come on, guys. Come on, girls. Come on, friends.
Are you referring to point of view?
Don't make it that simple, Amit.
P for presentation.
Should be related to passion, probably. Passion. PI तो आएगा तो passion आएगा.
Jigar. Oh, that's right, Jigar. You're very close. Yes, P is for passion. Absolutely. Wonderful. I is for India.
Passion,
I is
interest.
for interest.
Ends with
Bang
the
on,
alphabet E.
Jigar.
Ends with the alphabet E.
Inquire. Inquiry.
Enthusiastic.
I and ending with E.
Inspire.
Initiative.
Inspire.
Initiative.
Inspire.
Initiative.
Initiative.
And O
Initiative.
is
Organize.
Passion, initiative.
something better.
Objective.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's play around for 1 minute. How many of y'all own smartphones costing more than 20,000? Y'all can raise your hands. Wow. 2, 3, 4.
Sir, I guess everybody would be having that condition met.
No, that's okay. No. Why I'm saying is because
No. Mine is
4.
economical.
4. 4 out of 35? 5 out of 35? Okay. I think you got the answer now. It is ownership. Ownership,
Ownership.
owning the program, owning the module, owning the facilitation, owning the platform, owning the training, owning the way that you're going to develop the participant. That's basically very important. Till the time I own this space, I cannot do a difference. Motivating the learners continuously to achieve their desired performance. Absolutely. You need to continuously do that. It's something like a chessboard. You need to be very careful and give importance to each and every person. Common facilitation. I think this is, sorry for the repetition. Yeah, let me just, yes, now this is the right one. Another area, another facilitation technique is involved debates. Let's have people discussing and debating. It helps people speak out. It helps people share their experiences. Sometimes it helps you to convincingly argue. Learners realize that arguments, like a coin, has got two sides. You can use multiple things. I mean, facilitators could use even a group discussion. You're able to gauge the level of interpersonal relationships, communication skills, team skills, leadership abilities, the social connect or the social behavior, and problem solving abilities. So all those things you'll be able to see when the group discussion is initiated. As a facilitator, you keep continuously moving. You will not comment. You will only listen. You can make your notings on a paper which they don't see, which the participant don't see, because that will be required only at the end. No showing someone down, no showing someone high. Everyone needs to be considered. Bus groups. This is something beautiful. I mean, bus groups is basically you could have 3 or 6 learners forming to discuss a topic for a short period. You give them a topic, let them chew on the topic and let them discuss. You have a lot of ideas, a lot of collaboration, a lot of group problem solving, and you will get unique ideas and responses from each other. They will respond, contradict, have a conflict, sometimes argue, maybe sometimes come to a viewpoint, maybe sometimes come to a consensus, but it will be useful to us. Sometimes you'll be surprised, it will give a different perspective than what you already learned. For a facilitator, it's always an added learning, because I may not know that perspective of that company, but because I did this, I could get something of a breather, as we call it, something additional, something new, something exciting. Brainstorming. This is another area. How teams generate ideas. Put them in a room, give them some nice coffee, cookie, ribbon sandwiches, cheese sandwiches, see that the environment is controlled, and let them do free thinking. Free thinking. If you feel like, you can announce that it's being recorded, but preferably if it is not announced, and if they're able to create a document, maybe a flip chart, maybe a slide, maybe a template, whatever, that's fine. The team approach the problem as, how might we address this? How might we solve this? How might we get out of this problem? How might we perform better? Something like that would give a vast area of ideas and links to develop into potential solutions, answers with the company is facing. And you as a facilitator would get them to enable without disrupting, without interrupting, without doing anything different. This is something beautiful. Films, videos, and tapes. I believe in embedding all my, wherever I'm doing the sessions, multiple, sometimes there are 2 videos, sometimes there are 3 videos, all depends on the context. And thanks to the algorithms and artificial intelligence, you're able to get relevant content, relevant videos as and when required. Now, because I've started facilitation skills, I already got 2 or 3 forwards, even without asking, something very relevant to what I'm doing. So maybe that will be incorporated into your next session. Neeraj, could you mute yourself, please? Vijay Raghavan, could you mute yourself, please? Okay. So we could have more of efficient processing and memory recall. Their visual and auditory nature will be very appealing. It will help you to process information in a view or a manner that's natural. People help listen, reflect, understand, view. It helps learning, a lot of fun, be creative, and solve problems. Now, this is a beautiful video.
this concert. It was awesome. When we got there like really late, and so the show had already started.
What concert was it?
Well, you would know they are. It's just like a little indie underground thing you can get.
Really?
Yeah, party bus, party
Really?
van,
All
party
right,
van.
sounds
You
like
know, no, it's
Excuse me. I have a couple of questions about the Wi-Fi.
so. How many keys would you like?
2, please.
Hey, dude, what's up? Did you get the tickets? Oh wait, my battery's running low. Quick, call me at the main number. Is that you? Very cool. So what's the plan? All right, Miss Jordan, here are your keys. And your room is so easy to find. It's just right around the corner, room number 103. Have a nice day. See ya.
Hi, I lost my room key, room 213.
Okay. Just in case you lose this one, would you like another one?
Actually, I have the adjoining room as well, 214.
Oh,
Can I get that one?
Of course.
Hey, cool. Thank you.
All right, 214.
Hey,
thanks, man.
Thank you, man. Have a good
one.
day. Yep.
Hey, man. Have a nice vacation.
Hey, thanks. 213.
213.
Great room.
I have a couple of questions about the Wi-Fi.
Hey dude, what's up? Did you get the tickets? Here's what you want. Quick, call me at the main number. Is that you? Very cool. So what's the plan? Alright, Miss Jordan, here are your keys. And your room is so easy to find. It's just right around the corner, room number 103. Have a nice day. See ya. Hey man, have a nice vacation. Hey thanks, 213. 213.
Okay, so friends, you saw this. I mean, the theme, the way it could be described, the last part of those unprofessional reflections, that could be a way of moderation or debrief. Yeah. So now let's go on to the feature of tutorials. It could be involving assigned readings or maybe any sort of preparation. You could give them a topic. You could give them different things to discuss about. Any ideas, any suggestions, friends? on the topics or readings? Let's take, for example, a module on communication skills.
Chinese whisper.
Chinese whispers. Okay, very good, very good. It could be active listening, it could be Chinese whispers, it could be debating, it could be resolving conflicts, it could be interpersonal skills, it could be smiling, it could be a proper email etiquette, absolutely anything. You could, it all depending upon what is the theme or what is the requirement where the facilitation is being done. So maybe some PDFs, maybe some templates, maybe some journals, maybe some books, anything could be given so that there could be a cluster or a smaller group which can involve in discussions. After the discussions are done, based on the timing given, they could actually contribute. They could, ask questions among themselves. They could listen actively, work collaboratively, and as a facilitator, you could come to conclusions. Self-discovery. Now, this is something like a SWOT analysis. Many of us do this SWOT analysis. I do it every 2 months. So it basically helps you to explore and help where you are, visualizing your ideal self, exploring your passions, trying out new things, evaluating your skills, sharpening the saw. So you could use multiple things like worksheets, exercises, activities for assessing of your life goals, personality, and relationships. You could actually help a person develop and go to the next level. Self-discovery is the most wonderful workshop which facilitators freak out on. Every facilitation exercise has got some element of improvement or development on the personal front and the professional front. Role play. You have the, you create role plays which are helpful in exploring realistic situations by interacting with each other so that they are able to develop an experience and trying out different strategies in a supported environment. Now, when you do this, you could use normal role plays or you could use reverse role plays. Sales manager and sales representative. Sales manager and a sales representative, two people. Then you have the person who acted as a sales manager becoming a sales rep, and the person who acted as a sales rep becoming a sales manager. Adverse, reverse, depending upon things, and then you moderate what could be done and what should be done. So multiple role plays, beautiful role plays are available. You could actually do it in that manner possible. Demonstration. This is something beautiful. When you talk about demonstrations, it's actually the learner going through an observational necessity for an investigation, some sort of a demonstration, some sort of an idea, some sort of a concept. Let them discuss, let them talk, let them demonstrate, let them fold, let them cut. We'll be doing an icebreaker activity using this demonstration for the next session when we meet next Sunday. Simple instructions, simple demonstration, and how people reflect and what they do. So they are able to get a deeper understanding of the topic. They're able to boost upon the reflective thinking. They're able to create interest among the learners and arouse the spirit of discovery among the learners. Exhibits. Show them an exhibit. Show them an exhibit in the sense you could show anything. Maybe a poster, maybe a picture, maybe a video film. Maybe you stop it in between and ask them to critically evaluate, solve the challenging problem, develop communication skills, reflect, talk how it will be useful from the teamwork point of view, how they can become self-sufficient, how they could set goals. So different exhibits could be done. We use different exhibits. It could be toys, it could be posters, pictures, caricatures, multiple things, dolls. I mean, amazing thing is available as an exhibit, and you actually freak out because responses are necessarily going to come in from the learners or participants. You as a facilitator will only moderate at the end. Identifying of the training needs, most important area, the training need identification or the facilitation need identification and analysis. Establishing areas, finding gaps, finding where the employees need to improve upon their skills, knowledge, maybe abilities, maybe attitude, so that they're able to be more productive, perform better. Okay. Training and facilitation will definitely help in terms of aligning with the organizational culture and the demand and that of the individual employee. So it's a win-win situation, not just the organization, but even an employee. Growth is organic for both. The levels of training need analysis. How does it work? Training need identification could be at 3 levels. Organizational level, where you actually find out where the training is needed, which department, which section. Then second is training need identification at the operational level. When you talk about a department or a section or any specific area in a specific function, relating with the knowledge, skills, abilities, attitude needed for completion of the task efficiently. Third would be training need identification at the individual level, personal level, professional level, determining who needs to be trained and to which task. Steps taken by a facilitator. Now, when you're doing training, the process is slightly different. When you're doing facilitation, for finding out details, identifying and finding out and analyzing the requirement for facilitation, things are going to be different. Step 1, identify competencies related to a specific job role for a desired performance. Now, when you talk about competency, friends, what is the difference between a skill and a competency?
Skill can be acquired and competency is inbuilt.
Competency is inbuilt or
Maybe, but skills may change or acquired.
I believe that skill is a sub part of competency. Competency can include knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Okay, Kumud.
कॉम्पिटेंसी का मतलब ही होता है ना स्किल
Yes, Jigar.
नॉलेज एटीट्यूड यस है
Okay, what else?
Competency is the capability which will help
Yes,
to develop.
Brijesh.
Competency is the capability which will help to develop a skill or gain
Oh,
a
wow, we are very close, very close. Wonderful, Brijesh, wonderful. Anyone else would like to help and support? Brijesh? Coming very close to the answer.
It is like as said by Brijesh, it is when you have knowledge and when you have an attitude to implement that knowledge, that turns into a skill with practical
Wow.
experience. So that is
Wow, wow,
competence.
wow. That's nice, Kumud. That's nice. So when you talk about a
Thank you.
skill, yes, go ahead. You were adding
Yeah,
on
this is no, this is it from my end. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So when you talk about skills might be something which is very specific. I mean, it could be soft or maybe human or conceptual or hard or technical. But when you talk about a competency, it could include a skill, but essentially with the level of proficiency or being competent enough through observable and committed form of behavior. So when a behavior is associated with some sort of a skill, you tend to do that work or that skill in a much better manner. So whatever you all said, Kumud and Brijesh, capability and behavior and skills and the readiness to do it, that's basically what a competency is all about. Wonderful, wonderful. So step 1 is identifying competencies which are required. Competencies might be many. When you talk about competencies, let us take one area, communication skill. Friends, you'll be surprised. A communication skill as a competency could have hundreds and hundreds of skills related to that. Right from hearing to listening to active listening to debating, problem solving, critical thinking, interpersonal relationship, how to speak, how to smile, how to breathe, how to do this, how to do that. Everything could be part of a competency. And the way you nurture it to go to the next level through your behavior will make you competent in doing that specific skill or that skills, but not exactly the broad domain of communication skill, because it will take years and years for you to master any one specific group of skills. As a facilitator, you could confirm upon expected performance requirements with the role specific requirement. Please understand, all facilitation exercises have a motto. When you talk about the motto or a purpose, every organization wants to spend money on a facilitator or a facilitation exercise to see that your performance improves. When you talk about performance improve, it will be people improvement, process improvement, product improvement, profit enhancement, and all that. So all those things are going to come. So it will make it relevant to the role, the job roles, so that we have certain job descriptions based upon competitors or industry set benchmarks. Step 2 is identifying of competencies held by individuals. Okay. First you relate to the job, then you relate to the individual for the specific job role. As a facilitator, do individual learner assessment. You will carry worksheets and carry out certain tools and instruments. When you talk about instruments, they're all basically psychological instruments. You could have quizzes and tests and things like that. That's basically what you're talking about. Asking their line managers, asking their supervisors, analyzing complaints from a different perspective. Use different metrics for assessment so that you're able to come to conclusions, or at least come to finding out the gaps. Step 3, comparing the competencies in a skill matrix. Mapping in the currently held qualifications by an individual with those required. So mapping, you create a matrix where you are able to find out a requirement and this is where we are falling low, or this is where it's okay. So when you are able to do this match, you'll be able to find out the gap. The gap is basically nothing but a desired performance, which is a standard. And you have the current performance, which is the actual performance. If there is a gap, I mean, if there is something different, if it is not up to the level of a desired performance, it's a gap. If it's better, then it's excellent. Step 4 is analyzing the gap and determining the best way to bridge the gap. Training would require about outlining the requirements with details and in specific format for developing a customized, curated training program. Facilitation could include training programs. Non-training is if for the gap there are internal issues in the organization, less time for performing tasks. So you should be very careful. The gap should be addressing only core requirements. What are the competencies which are normally measured by under facilitation?
Sir, I have one suggestion.
Yes,
suggestion. Can we also discuss on the case studies on these topics, because that is going to be
Yes,
more...
we'll be coming to that. We'll be coming to that.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, I don't know if it's going to go good with others, but if 1 hour of session and then half an hour of discussion on the case study, that will actually get into the minds, we'll understand it better.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. So effective communication, verbal ability, active listening, effective presentation, negotiation. These are ways where how you could measure your competencies. I put in this slide so that it make it interesting. What's the difference between a skill and a competency? You are able to find out certain definite skills, whether it is coding or problem solving, accounting, strategic planning, writing of tenders, negotiations. This is a skill matrix, different levels, different skills, and which are as per the team members. So you could find different color codes so that you're able to understand how it identifies or relates with different team members of that specific team. So this will help you find out. Software is there, which could give you an idea about how this could be done. Okay. And now we go on to section 2, facilitator goals. We have new knowledge, new skills, new attributes, training context. New knowledge would relate to describing of the facts, concepts, principles, standard operating procedures. And new skills would relate to describing of the skills, physical, mental, and things like that. New attributes would relate to standards of behavior, values, beliefs, and training context would relate to type, audience, aids, facilities, and infrastructure. So a facilitator has to have the audience of who, why, what, how, where, when, skills, culture, comprehension, support, demographics, level of motivation, flexibility, delivery, and timings. Identification of learners would be through types, language, culture, education, gender, age, physical abilities, knowledge, skills, abilities, experience, DEIB, Divyang or differently abled. Contextualization of the programs would depend upon tools, SOPs, philosophy, assessments, activities, language, sequencing, etc. So now with this, I'll stop sharing and I will take your inputs. Like I'm with Siddharth. What I was suggesting was let us have a cross section of opinion based on this, because there are two things which you need to understand, which I'll try to clarify. One is there is a cross section of people right from juniors to mid managers and seniors here. So identifying some theoretical context. I also do not believe in theoretical context. I would like opinions from other side also. Can we do like what Siddharth has rightly suggested? Maybe do an inbuilt, some sort of case study, some sort of role play, some sort of games, some sort of interactions from different industry perspectives to certain training tools and methods. I want your opinions. I mean, Shilpi,
Sir,
Mohan.
yeah, I believe we can make it a balance of what Siddharth has mentioned. and what we are doing right now, because I believe that case studies would, yes, for sure, they are going to help us in designing and implementing. But I believe the concepts are required, because in this way it will give us skills, but it wouldn't be, we will lack a part of knowledge, as we said, competencies, right? So I want to learn those concepts that you have, introduced, along with implementation of it, what Siddharth has suggested.
Sure, well taken, well taken. Anyone else would like to add? Pooja, Ashley, Alankar, Abhishek, Timothy, Sanjana?
Definitely, sir.
Yes, Abhishek.
Practical application is very important, because I think there are two things. One is the theoretical and second is the practical. So as a trainer, it becomes very important to understand how we can apply the different concept into the different industry. So
Well taken, well taken, yes. Yes, anyone else would like to add? Come on, guys. Come on, girls. Ganesh, Samir, Sumitra, Swarnim, Shilpi, Sandeep, Sanjana, Pooja, Ashley, Alankar.
So we would have 1 hour of session that we're going to talk on the concepts of every topic, and then maybe we can take one case study to discuss on those topic that you have taken up.
Okay,
Which
so
can
we will have multiple types of tools. It will not just be case studies. We could maybe have certain
Yes.
scenarios and maybe some role plays, some discussions, and some thematic appreciation tests, which are very important. We did a thematic appreciation test in the first session. So something like that we'll do, so that it will help you to enhance and reflect better.
Yes, sir. So it can be easily connected. We can connect the dots better.
Yes, yes, sure.
And also, sir, one more suggestion. Don't mind.
Sure.
If it's a little slow, then we can. I can take it a little easier. It's going a little faster. It's just a personal suggestion of mine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Anything from the others? I mean, is it fast? Is it slow? Is the language okay?
The language is okay, sir, but it is just the speed. Maybe if we can.
Okay. So we'll modify. We'll slightly restrict the content to a certain extent, and we'll go slow with a pause. Okay. Yes, Jigar. Sure. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for spending the Sunday. I think the first session and the last session, the privilege was mine. So God bless you all. See you all again, and we'll connect on next Sunday as per the schedule, whatsoever is given to you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Bye,
Bye.
Neeraj.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Kumud.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Bye.